Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. We are sorry for the delay, but today we are going to listen practice to interviews. Let's listen to them.
Hello.
Hello. Charles, sorry to see what happened in FP1 today. Can you just talk us through that incident first of all?
Obviously, first of all, I feel sorry for the whole team because obviously that's never something you want. It was a very stupid crash. I had a lockup. I thought I will make the corner anyway. I knew I would go in the grass, but I thought that was enough to not touch the wall. Unfortunately, when I then ended up in the grass, I understood that there was no room anymore. So yeah, it's just a misjudgment, but a misjudgment that cost a lot because then the way the wheel has touched the chassis basically cracked the chassis, and we cannot use two chassis on the same day, so that meant basically the whole day not in the car. So yeah, that hurts because that obviously it cost us quite a few laps around today. But the very positive thing is that I felt very confident with the car. I think yeah, we were very competitive at that time, for whatever it's worth, because obviously it was only the third lap of the day. But yeah, that doesn't hurt my confidence, and I'm sure that it won't hurt my weekend at all.
It must have been frustrating to miss FP2, of course, quite a big FP3 coming up now for you. How hopeful are you that you can bounce back from this, get a good feeling with the car heading into qualifying?
I'm sure I'll be up to speed in qualifying. Then how competitive we will be is another matter, and then we'll have to see. But I'm sure that personally I'll be 100%.
Yeah, as everyone knows, Charles Leclerc had that unlucky moment at the practice one, and because of the rules, he didn't manage to attend at the practice two. But as I said, at least that 9 lap that we have watched the Charles Leclerc, I think his performance was okay, and he was comfortable with the car. But we will see, let's say, what will happen at the practice 3. And let's hope that happens. Like Leclerc said, they will be maybe competitive in the practice 3. Let's listen to Lewis Hamilton, what he's going to say about it.
So Lewis, how was that first day out on track for you here in Canada?
Not great, not particularly great. I love driving here, and the crowd's been amazing today, but the car's a lot different to what I've experienced here in the past. Yeah. And so I think P1 was all right, and then we made some changes. And I thought the car was quicker, but we just went slower. So, or they went quicker, basically. So yeah.
We heard you mention some rear locking in FP2 there into the final chicane. Is that something you're still trying to get on top of? Hopeful that you can fix that overnight?
Yeah. I think we'll definitely overcome it overnight. Some changes to make.
Where do you think your battle will be this weekend when it all shakes out in qualifying?
I don't know. I think there'll be a challenge to get into Q3 at this rate, but not impossible. And then I think, trying to fight to get into the top 5. It's going to be tough.
Thank you, Lewis. Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, interestingly, Lewis Hamilton, he was at the P8 at the practice too. But the thing is, like, when Lewis Hamilton is driving, let's say FP1, and the car is performing very well, and after that, when they try to find a better setup, I think they are messing up, and Hamilton is always struggling. And after that, at the practice 3, they are just going back at the first setup, and they are making a car, let's say, a little bit faster. And I think they don't need to play much more with the Hamilton's setup. They need to find just one perfect setup for the Lewis Hamilton, and just after that setup, just they need to improve a lot this Ferrari car if they want to be much more competitive with the Mercedes and also with McLaren's. It's not like impossible, but let's say they need a lot of time. Let's listen, Max Verstappen.
Good to see you, Max. How do you sum up your day? What were you working on and trying to refine over the course of the day?
Yeah, the day was alright, to be honest. I felt quite happy with the car. FP2 was a bit more difficult for other reasons. I think we lost something with the car, like balance-wise, right. that we need to investigate. But overall, I think it was quite a positive day for us.
Yeah, you were talking about feeling a bit nervous under braking, lacking bite. Is it brake temperature in particular?
Brakes a little bit. Maybe the car in general in FP2 was a bit more difficult, but if we can get it back to how it felt in FP1, I think we look quite okay.
Well, how open is it? I mean, are you in the battle for pole potentially? McLaren looked a little bit off. I don't know if that's opened the door to others, including yourself.
Yeah, let's see tomorrow. There's still one more session where people can get it right. For us, we just want to get it in a good window, and then we'll see how far we are up there in qualifying.
Yeah, Max Verstappen was struggling a lot up with his brakes, I think, and also they tried something different on their car at the practice too, but it seems like it didn't work out because, as you know, the Max Verstappen was at the 9th position at the practice too. And if you talk about the McLarens, yeah, that's right, they looked a little bit off, but as always, McLaren is not pushing so hard at the practice too. I think in a practice 3 we will see a little bit different McLaren. I think they are just at the practice too, they are trying a lot of long runs with their car with more fuel. It seems like that to me actually, but after P3 we will see, let's say, who is aware and who has the potential, let's say, to take that pole position. Let's listen to George Russell.
Well, John, it's only Friday, but that looked pretty good from where I was standing. How do you feel in the car?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to be. It might be my first time top of a leaderboard of the whole year. Jesus, 10 races in. No, obviously a very positive day. We had sort of higher expectations coming into this weekend because cooler conditions, the track's quite smooth, so the tyres naturally run quite cold, and we know our weakness, which is when it's hot, we struggle. When it's cold and the tyres run cold, we're pretty competitive. So that sort of was definitely validation today. Nevertheless, we're trying to maximise this weekend. I think my lap was really strong today. I probably optimised, so there's nothing more in the tank there, and we had it all on the table. Full beans, power, and all the rest. So let's see what tomorrow brings.
Oh, I was trying to big it up, and you're trying to play it down.
You gotta, you can't. Got to be a little bit realistic. I think we'll see tomorrow. It'll be interesting, and again, clearly, a number of teams are thinking about this medium tyre as well. So, come qualifying, do you go on the soft? Do you go on the medium? That's one of the challenges so far when we've had this C6 compound, and we've seen I can't tell you the secrets now because he's in the background.
He's too close.
You're using the hard.
Yeah, like Mercedes, after a long time we saw George Russell at the top of it, but I think this track is perfect for the Mercedes. Cooler conditions, smooth surface, and I think they will be very competitive on this track because a long time they are just waiting for this kind of conditions and for this kind of track. I'm not gonna be surprised if some of the Mercedes will take the pole position at the qualifying. Let's listen to the Oscar Piastri.
Oscar, P6 on the timesheets today. Can you talk us through both of those sessions, how the car was feeling and developed over the course of the day?
It definitely ended better than it started, but I think still some improvements to try and make. So, it's been a little bit of a tricky day, just trying to find the right window with the car. I think we're getting there, but we still need to find a bit more. So, the competition looks close. Also, just knowing what tyres to use is an interesting discussion at the moment. So, I'm sure we'll see how we can find a bit more tomorrow.
Where are you in terms of understanding the new parts on the car for this weekend, and how hopeful are you that you can make a bit more of a step tomorrow when qualifying comes?
I think the new parts have done what we expected them to, but hopefully we can find a bit more. I think we've made a good step from FP1 to FP2, and just need to try and make the same step again, I guess. So no alarm bells, just trying to get the car in a better window and get me in a better window.
Just fine margins.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Oscar Piastri seemed a little bit slower than the Lando Norris, but I'm not surprised, let's say, to see these kind of things. To see Oscar Piastri to be slower than Lando Norris, like last 2-3 races, always at the P2. Norris was the faster than the Oscar Piastri, but just Oscar Piastri is opening his the boost, the turbo mod on at the practice 3 and at the qualifying, and I think it will be different. He will be at a different position at the qualifying list season. Lando Norris, he was at the second place on a practice 2.
Hey Lando, George derailed, derailed George's interview, thanks very much, appreciate that. How do you feel after being in the car? Say some new parts on the car, from what I've read, were designed to hopefully make you feel a little bit less numb, or the car feel less numb. How did it feel?
Pretty similar, honestly, but I think it's more. It's hard to say just from one track. I think you have to go to many more, especially here. It's quite unique with the amount of bumps and curbs and low grip that we have. So, yeah, a bit too early to tell, but all of the things are aimed to move the car in the right direction and give me more feeling, which is a good thing. But yeah, I would say a tricky day, probably one of the trickiest we've had this year. A little bit off the pace comparing to some of the others, and maybe didn't look at it at the end, but just difficult to ever put a lap together and be consistent. I did one good lap the whole session, so yeah, we have some work to do.
Is that partly because the track looked really dusty out there, and obviously track evolution's always a thing here? Do you think that's partly down to it, or do you think it's just at the minute you're trying to just get the car set up in the right window?
I think we need to get the car in a better place. It's been our most difficult. Everyone's in the same boat on the track, you know. The track's difficult, but it's definitely been our worst Friday of the year, I would say, so far, and maybe not worst in terms of pace, but just most difficult to put together and most tricky. So yeah, we're not miles away, just need to make it a little bit easier to drive.
And just looking ahead to the rest of the weekend, still plenty of time to kind of catch back up, and do you think you might leave the new parts on the car? Too early to say?
Say again?
Do you think you might leave the new parts on the car for this weekend, or too early to say?
We'll go and discuss now.
But still looking good for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still in a good position. It's just it's close. As you know, there's other teams up there. Mercedes now seem very, very quick, just as they were last year here. You know, they were quite easily the best last year. So we expect them to be fast. They proved that today. But it's not. You know, I'm complaining that I'm not first really, but. We're still there or thereabouts. It's just trying to simplify things a little bit, trying to make the car a bit easier to drive, and we'll be there, thereabouts. At the minute I wouldn't say we're the quickest, but you never know.
Yeah, we'll see what will happen, but the thing is that definitely McLarens were struggling at the P2, at the practice 2, but I don't believe that is something huge problem. Definitely they are trying something. They had a new update, but let's say at the P3 and at the qualifying, actually I still believe that they will dominate. If they didn't dominate anything today, I think they will have a bit problem with their new parts on a car, and I think that will, if they have the problem with that parts, that will make very interesting this championship. Let's say from Antonelli.
Kimi, it looked like a day of progress really through those two sessions, and towards the end it looked like you'd found some real confidence with the car. Just talk me through how you're feeling with that final kind of few runs.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good day, decent day to be honest. You know, this track is pretty fun. It's not easy. But yeah, so far I've been enjoying quite a lot. No, I'm pretty happy because I'm understanding more and more the C6, which was you know, the main point for me after, you know, the two difficult weekends in Imola and Monaco. So definitely, you know, the progress has been there. Obviously there's still quite a bit of work to do, but you know, single lap felt pretty okay, and then long run felt pretty good as well. So yeah, we're on the good way, and we'll try to keep pushing in order to improve for tomorrow.
How much do you think the cooler conditions, which is obviously traditionally where the team tends to go well, really helps you guys kind of battle back from maybe a more challenging Spain?
Yeah, I mean, the car has felt strong today, and the pace is today was definitely there, and definitely the condition helps. Cooler, but I think it helps at the end a bit everybody. But for us, definitely the car is very very connected. It gives you confidence, so that's the most important, and hopefully we can keep the same momentum into tomorrow.
I know it's early days, but do you think you're in the mix to take the fight to the McLarens and Max this weekend?
It's an early call, but I mean you never know. Obviously, I'll do my best to try and be up there and to put on a fight. That's definitely the goal, and it's we'll see when it's going to be quali time. But I'm really trying to build the right confidence in order to be ready for qualifying.
Carlos,
Yeah, as I said on the George Russell's interview, Mercedes is just waiting for this kind of track to have the cold temperatures and to have a smooth surface, and actually that they showed us that their car is working very well at the cold temperature, but when things heats up, they are struggling a lot, but definitely I think maybe the pole position will have some of them, or I think it's the second row guaranteed for the Mercedes at the qualifying. But as I say always, like, we will never know what will happen at the Formula 1, but for this for these interviews, and if you look at the data that we have, I think Mercedes definitely will be something at the pole position or at the second row if nothing happens absurd, something at the qualifying. Let's listen lastly Carlos Sainz.
This morning the car looked great, really, really close to the top of the times. The afternoon slightly off, but still very competitive. How are you feeling about
Yeah, very
today?
good. No, this morning we were just simply probably running a bit lighter, a bit more engine mode than the others. That's why our competitiveness seemed higher than expected. But on FP2 we were still in the mix. Obviously a good step behind Russell, that seems very quick, and some others. But we more or less where we expected, 3 or 4 tenths of the fastest cars, which is a good place to be going into tomorrow.
When you put some fuel in the car, how did that feel?
It was okay. Still not at the level of obviously the leading cars, but out of the midfield and out of the back end of the top of the field, we seem to be in the mix again this weekend. So happy. Car gives me confidence. There's probably going to be a bit of a bench again with the tires, whether to run C6 or C5 in quali, because they seem again extremely close. But apart from that, honestly, just focusing on making sure we nail the tire strategy for tomorrow.
In terms of where you roughly are being able to take the fight, obviously it sounds like top of the midfield at the minimum, but in recent races you've been fighting, the McLarens, the Mercedes, the Ferraris.
Not in recent ones, in the ones before the recent ones.
Apart from Spain, yeah.
But yeah, I think probably when they all turn it up, we'll struggle to out-qualify them or get in the mix with them. But we're not too far, which is, again, like in Miami and Imola, a good place to be.
Yeah, they definitely were struggling on the Barcelona, but at this track, I think the real potential of the Williams will be on the qualifying, and I think definitely they will be at least at the Q2, but I think also Q3 is possible for them if you look their yesterday's performance at the practice too, and it will be very interesting to follow what will happen at the qualifying. And also, as always, we will have the interviews after the qualifying. Just don't forget to like this video, comment it, and subscribe to the channel.